Hey everybody, welcome back to Kumasao Reviews. We're taking a look at the Takara Transformers Masterpiece line, MP-44 Optimus Prime. So this is, of course, the third version of Optimus Prime that they've put out. I think they really tried to go for that definitive Optimus here. Let's see if they went ahead and got the job done. Before we get into digging into this figure, which does come in alt mode by the way, but I've currently got it in robot mode, so we're gonna review it in robot mode first. Get it transformed and blah blah blah. Alright, so we got instructions. We of course have a card. Mine didn't come with a coin, ordered it from Amazon Japan. Apparently it's only certain places that you order it from where you got the coin. I don't know where those places are since I didn't get it. I would have aimed for them if I knew, but yeah. So okay, his blaster, we got the rocket pack, sideswipe rocket pack, and apparently fits sideswipe as well, so that's really cool. It even comes with the Starscream head and vents. Alright, we've got Carly, Sparkplug, Spike, Roller, and then the rest of his accessories here. Get my camera straight. Got two heads. This looks more like the artwork. I think it's Studio Ox, but I'm not sure. That head there, as well as battle damaged head, battle damaged right abdominal. We'll take a look at all of this stuff. Two blast effects. You can use them on this blaster. You can use them on the rocket pack. I think you can even use it on the kind of mechanical thingy inside of the trailer. I don't know exactly what it's called. And of course the Energon axe. So, and of course this trailer in the back as well. We'll take a look at all of that stuff, but just wanted to give you an overview of what comes in the box, so if you get something that's missing, you know. Oh, and there's one other thing there. It's clear, so it's hard for me to see, but this piece here is an adapter for a different kind of stand. I believe it said it came with MP-41, so if you own that, boom, you have even more play with this piece. Now let's get a review. Okay, now getting started with the height on this guy, let's take a look. And this is a straight up stance, no pelvic thrusting or any of that business. He stands too, and I'm going to the tip of his head there, not the antennas, at just over 9¼ inches tall, between 9¼ and 9½ there. So, giving you guys a roundabout. And big huge backpack, but it does have the voice effects in it, so if you're into that then you're golden. If not, it is a big backpack. It really doesn't serve a purpose outside of those voice effects, so you can't like put the gun inside of it or anything like that, so it's kind of what it is. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the articulation. Get the camera back here, we're pretty close. Now, I will say, aesthetically, I don't like how short the neck is on this guy. It just does not do it for me. So, I'm actually going to raise the camera up and zoom in, since we're looking at the head anyway. You can see the neck's literally short. And we'll raise this piece that it's attached to up so you can see I'm not pushing the head down or anything. It's just that short. It's kind of goofy, but he still gets a lot of upward movement. Focus the camera there. He even has some sideways tilt, which is awesome. Alright, 360 there. And looking up close, you can see his left antenna came bent like that. It seems to be a pretty common occurrence. There are fixes for it. Apparently, you could just take a heater to it or something like that. Maybe dip it in hot water. It straightens out pretty well from what I've seen people doing the fixes, but it's unfortunate that it came like that, especially at seemingly a mass production level. Alright, so that's the head. The shoulders, so before I forget, they do have some butterflying inwards, well, a lot of butterflying as you can see there. And goes back in. I wouldn't call them soft, but they're not like super hard ratchets either. I guess they're just right. And they're small clicks. So it's not really too obtrusive, which is a good thing, but you can see full 360 there. let's see. The whole thing goes up. All right, so there's that. It has some lateral movement, but I want to see if this can go outwards. That's what I'm looking for, that parallel right there. It does, yay. All right. It just kind of has a click there, so if it pushes and you don't feel like you're getting it, just push a little bit harder. It's not hard, but there's a significant difference between that first part and then when you really have to get it over. All right, bicep swivel. Let's take a look at the elbow bend. It's 1, 2, all right. And that's a natural bend there too, past 90 degrees, but realistically, you know, just straight up parallel with the bicep, that's not true to form at all. So that's pretty cool. That's a good stopping point. All right, nothing in the forearm itself. The wrist, 360, and then it does have some inward and outward rock. Pretty cool stuff. Taking a look at the hand itself here. The thumb does have some articulation. It's just a single swivel though, up and down. All right. So looking at the fingers here, all together, besides the pointer finger there, index finger. And this has 2 points of articulation on its own. These also have the same 2 points, but again, the rest of the fingers all together. I believe it's middle ring and pinky. Zoom back out. Waist does have swivel. All right, about 90-90, no 360. Well, can it? Not gonna stretch it there. That's the most that I get comfortably. Skirts. These 2 on the side go up. These 2 on the back flare out. And this is different about the engineering. So instead of having like the skirts go up, it actually goes inside with it, which is neat. That's, you know, makes for a pretty like broken, disjointed look. And you can see all throughout him, he just has a lot of panels and stuff like that, that lining to him. I'm not a big fan of that aesthetically, not gonna lie. The backwards though, pretty good. Outwards, and you can hear the ratchets click. Now, not a lot of wiggle room, but there's still wiggle room. And then the fact that it's like, legs are heavier, don't believe they're die cast, but kind of loosey-goosey in between. So you set them down and it's not really solid. Like right there, right there, right there, right there. You know, it naturally kind of wants to slide out in between ratchets and things like that. So I wish they would have done a little bit better with that. Actually, a lot bit better for what a lot of retailers are selling it for, $400 if you got it overseas, you know, between $320, $360 there. Regardless, it's too much for, you know, stuff like that, in my opinion at least. Now looking at the thigh swivel, all right. Getting just before 90 on each side. Not quite 45, not quite 90, somewhere in between, probably like 60, 70. Now the knees. This is one of those points of contention amongst fandom. Mine seem to be fine. Knock on cutting board here. But a lot of people have been having their ratchets go out. Some people, I've read that it's a user error thing, but I'll show you mine. And the knees do slide up and down, by the way. Pretty cool feature. But it seems to start at a natural top ratchet and then naturally moves to a bottom. So quite a bit of knee bend there. And then naturally it just goes by itself. Apparently it's like if you try to do the wrong ratchet first, like start bending at the bottom, that's when they strip. But, you know, just Google MP-44 knee fix or something and you'll see a lot more on that. Since I can't empathize with it at the moment, you know, like I said, knock on dust, never know if it'll happen or not. I really don't have any fix or suggestions for that or ways to avoid it because I've been playing with mine normally, not gonna lie. So you see it slides in and out, up and down, and just wanted to give you a view from the front. Ankle tilt. I mean, it doesn't get better than that in terms of inward ankle tilt. It even has some outward, which is cool. All right. Ratchets, which is surprising for the front and back movement of the foot. And I see a peg here, but it looks like that's more for the transformation than anything else. There's a little bit of movement from here to here, and then the whole foot. So there you go. A little bit of complexity to it. But yeah, just wish he didn't have that wiggle room in the hip area and things like that, just so that he stood a little bit more natural. And technically he does have ab crunch, but it's so loose that this doesn't hold. So see how it wants to like drop back and stuff? When you're really trying to pose them, let's do like a pelvic thrust thing, right? All right, so you got that ab crunch there, but there's no lock to it. There's no real friction. It just falls back, which is unfortunate for somebody that likes to pose their figures like me. It's actually a huge turnoff to it. So I wish there was something in there that could lock that, but it's what it is. All right, so we're going to start taking a look at some of the accessories here. Energon Axe. Hand just slides off, kind of clicks into there, but pull it off, push it on, and you'll see underneath he has what looks like a baby hand. And also, spoil something, those accessories that I showed you, they become the back bumper for the trailer. So, boom. Taking out the axe. Now the axe, let me zoom in here. All right, so you got that, right? You don't see anywhere for it to clip on, but you just rotate this piece in the middle. And then, focus. If it was being nice to me, it'd just clip right in, but you know, life. Am I clipping it right side up? Yeah, I am. I crap you guys not. I've done this multiple times now, and the second I do it on camera, it starts getting weird. But there we go. All right. So we got that, and I mean, you see those hips just a sliding, but that's okay. Get focused. Ooh, the way this is laid out, the composition of it, it's like a wallpaper type thing. Since you have all that negative space, get that out of the way. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so we're looking at the backpack. The base of this repair piece actually becomes a stand. So I've got it prepped and in position. Make sure to get it in the position you want. The forwards, you'll see in a second why. All right, so in terms of clipping this on, it's just up and over. Simple stuff. Boom. Boom. Okay, so he's ready to take flight. Now, with this stand piece, you get this top part into the position you want it, and then there's a lock that does lock it into place, but it does not hold very well. So, read on some of the Facebook groups that it's a thing, and it seems like most people don't as well. So, just be wary of that. Hold this part in place while you're getting him into position. His butt just slides in. You see there? Bun went dead. And this is so poor that I'm actually not really going to do anything too crazy with the posing of it. It's just not good. Another one of those things that, for a product, particularly of this price point, should have been a little better thought out. That's actually the least frustrating it's been. Getting a picture of this thing was a SOB, but you've got the gist of it right there. I'm not trying to go too crazy again because it does not hold well. Now we're going to take a look at some of the different head sculpts. Alright, so there's... It's kind of hard because this piece doesn't have a lock and just comes up, but basically hold it back and the face comes straight up. Straight off. Alright, slide that back on. And pretty cool stuff. I love the outward antennas and everything like that. Distance between the eyes and the mask or mouth plate. They absolutely killed it with that one. So, really love that. Alright, remember my own advice there. Slide that off. And now we're going to take a look at the damaged prime pieces. He comes with both a damaged face, or I guess total head, as well as this piece that just pegs right in over his ribcage. And boom, cool stuff. Now we'll take a look at the that off. Starscream Costume version. Alright. So before we even bother with the head, we're going to get Starscream's vents on. So we do that first. This piece slides right over. Press it back. And then find Starscream's head. Make sure that's pressed on correctly. There we go. And I love that face for Starscream. I really hope that at least a third party comes out with an adapter, whether it's for, I think Starscream is what, MP-12? It's been so long now. So the official Starscream, or even like Make Towards Meteor or something like that, best Starscream head sculpt I've seen, period. Knocked it out. But there's that. Now we'll take a look at his blaster, which is pretty straightforward. Take that guy. It's peg on the inside of the hand. Get the fingers on. I do wish that it went a little bit lower so that you could truly put his index finger over the trigger. I don't know if that's more because child safety laws, or not child safety, but concerns with that. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things to where you have that separate index finger, you have a trigger, yet you can't put the appropriate finger over the trigger. So it might just be me being anal, but I don't like it. So, but there's his gun. Good looking blaster, very long, holds it well. That's where that ankle tilt comes in handy. And that's where those thigh ratchets piss me off. There we go. Now, of course, I put the accessories away. But if you want to take one of those blast pieces, pegs right in. And boom. All right. Keep Prime over there for a second, and we're actually gonna get that right back in there. See, they slide right into being the bumper for this. Okay. We'll transition into the repair base right now. Alright, so backing up the camera because this is pretty tall. Simply just stands up. It's like the old school toy. These are stands in the back. Put that down. Goes up. You don't have to if you don't want to. You don't see them. This. So you can bring this around or swings under. I actually prefer that. And just for the record, gun storage, put that up. There are two pieces on either side of the backpack, and it just pegs in. There's that. There's that, and of course you could put it blaster side up, whatever you want to do. Now, knocking that out, I want to take a look at the repair base because it interacts with Spike, Sparkplug, and Carly really well. So on the figures themselves, they have magnets at the bottom of their feet, and it comes with platforms for them to stand on, of course. I'm sorry for putting my arm across, but kind of got to. So magnet right here, as well as magnet right here, magnet right there. All right. Zooming out. The Prime here, and he does have a matrix. So let's, well, we're knocking everything around. I'm gonna use the same setup as a picture I took. There's that. Expose that. So there's the matrix. Matrix is removable. Now this, the gas nozzle, I'm gonna remove from there. This is already upwards. You can store that as well. Take a quick look at roller. It's not much to it. They can all be seated in them. 6 rolling wheels. Pretty cool stuff. But this part flips, and you can put his blaster there, or you can do the gas nozzle as well. Zoom out. Gas nozzle. Alright, who do we want driving the car? We will have Sparkplug driving the roller. Okay. And just a quick overview of the figures. Again, it comes with, well, they're magnetized into each other. They're pretty hard to stand, for me at least. That's why I don't really like messing with them. Spike, Carly, and Sparkplug, who's inside a roller right now. Let's see how close I can get to him. Alright. They all have the same articulation, so I'm going to go ahead and put Carly on one of the magnet areas of the base. But just to go over their articulation, ball joints at the head, so they have full 360 head movements. Ball jointed at the center of their waist, so they have ab crunch and 360 swivel. Joints are just small and tight, so the limbs kind of pop off. No elbow articulation though, even though the shoulders go in and out. You just saw the 360. Hips swing forward and back. Knees. So overall, pretty cool stuff. I'm going to lay Spike down for a moment. I'm actually going to open up that guy, and you see just popped off at the knee there. Like, I like they included these minifigures. I like what they were going for, but they're so small that it's like they don't really need Microman levels of articulation. It's a bit much. Getting this up, so you guys can see how it all looks. And there you have it. I think we're about ready to look at the alt mode, actually. Alright. And I almost forgot to go over the reason he has that big old backpack in the first place. And I also don't want to forget, I gotta give props to, I think his name's like T-Man Reviews. He was the one who told me about how to get to the English voices on this thing. But that's what we're about to go over. So you see right here, I don't know what language this is exactly. I don't want to take a guess and maybe come off, you know, bigoted or generalized or anything like that. So I'm not going to make a statement on that, but obviously it's not English. So, to get to the English voice, you have to hold it down. And every time you hold it down, it goes through like different, I don't know if they're different languages or different sets of statements, but one of those sets is English. So hold it down, and they'll go like to a transform in, transform out between each time. So alright, so we're still not on English. Holding it down. Still not on English. Hold it down. Okay. Let's try now. There we go. Okay, so it seems like assorted statements that play at random, but there you go, that's how you get to the English set of voice or phrases. Alright, taking a look at its alt mode here. Really like the general shape of the cab, but when you look at it, especially in hand, all the panel breaking and stuff like that, that's just a common theme with me and this particular piece. That's a little bit, click that. It's a bit much, especially for, again, the price of this figure. I really keep hitting on that because it's not cheap at the end of the day. And yeah, I'll get more into it on my final thoughts. I don't really want to go there, but a little bit off-putting. All wheels roll, though. And I will say, once you get the little nuances of the transformation, like I said, I started this in robot mode, transformed it into alt mode, took about, and it's been a little while, it was my first time transforming it back, I'd say about 10 minutes or so, so not really bad, just, you know, be careful. But anyway, pretty straightforward. The gun is folded, it slides on and off. Let me see which way it slides. So there's a space there, something that goes on there. Gun folds. Boom, and it doesn't affect it attached to the trailer or anything like that. That's pretty ghastly. I don't like the look of that, but it's what it is. Now, something that's pretty cool. The doors actually do open. And you can fit the minis. My leg pops off, part 557. Inside of there, it's a tightish fit. That's pretty cool that they go. I wish it had through windows so that you could actually see the figure through it. Well, I guess no kibble in between, but you can still see him in the side there. Keep zooming in and out. So, I mean, that's neat. Get him out of there. Hopefully without him falling apart. I'm actually going to use the spudger of life right now. Extract him. So, it's not bad. Could be better. Get that out of the way. We've taken a look at Roller. I mean, Roller's pretty straightforward. Get this raised up. The base mode on this guy, it's pretty neat. And there are 1,000,001 gimmicks to this thing. Look over the instructions. I'm not going over all of them. But one thing that did stand out was the fact that this piece can actually become a vehicle of its own. So that's really cool. And I'm not exactly sure. There we go. How do I get this thing attached? Flips out, and this kind of connects there. I like how I say kinda, like it doesn't really connect. You get to see Roller pull and do stuff. That aligned a bit different. I mean, it's very much so one of those is what it is things. But detach that. Get that back to normal. Boom. This slides on. Ramp. That slides on. Now, when it comes to the base itself, there are spots for the minis to sit in. Gotta straighten out their legs though. Boom. Turn this guy around. Alright, I can actually get that extended a bit more. Boom, so pretty neat stuff. take this down, and for the trailer to close on it, you actually have to get that crane arm like so, slide that in. And what's neat is that these pieces actually expand a little bit up to go around that, because you have the option of, you know, having it attached or detached, whatever you want to do. Alright, so you see the top there, and again, there are a lot of configurations. You can have that crane arm thing coming out of the front, out of the top as well. So cool stuff. And it also has an option for the rocket pack here. Get that pegged in, close it back up. So boom. Doors in the back. Do open and close. Ah, jeez. The ramp again. Boom. Boom, boom. Alright, so it stands on the bottom. On the bottom. And this is a peg. Peg. Boom. Alright, so now we got them with the trailer. And to show you the options, is about 45 degrees each way. Trailer falls well. Yeah, there we go. Let's take a nice front shot. Give it an angle there. Close this portion out. That's the alt mode. Alright, so closing this out again, it's been a review for the Takara Transformers Masterpiece line, MP-44 Optimus Prime. This is the version 3.0, final definitive version. Let's hope so. They've made enough Optimus Primes at this point. Maybe when they get to the point where they're walking and talking on their own, do it again. Optimus Prime 4.0, who cares? I'm sure in the meantime there will be 25,000 repaints of this guy. But thoughts on this, honestly, I hoped for a much, I wouldn't say better impression, because it's still a decent piece, but a much bigger impression that I got from it. I remember when I was out of Masterpiece collecting, sold them all, Jose from the Realm of Collectors let me borrow Sunstreaker. That thing was just so amazing, articulation, look, man, just the overall engineering and stuff, it like blew my socks off to the point where I was like, okay, I gotta get on this Masterpiece shit again. Started buying them all again. Same with the Grapple Inferno mold. They were just so good that they pulled me back in. Got out of Transformers again, and this was one that I really anticipated, seeing pictures, man, dead on to the cartoon. That's the look they're going for, all these accessories, but it really doesn't wow me like I thought it would. And that's just being straight up. Between the, like, all the lines through it and things like that, all the paneling to it in both alt and robot mode, janky stuff like the ratchets and the hips, just having all that space in between and wanting to slide out, it just doesn't have that fit and finish that I feel that, it's not just a price point, but such a big product, because this was a big deal for Takara, man. This is Optimus Prime 3.0. I mean, if you don't have a decent Optimus Prime, what the fuck do you have in your Transformers toy line? That's where it's got to start, unless you're crazy like Flame Toys. So, no, it didn't impress me like I thought it would. Just off the top of my head, I'm like 6.5 out of 10. The accessories are awesome. I think what it went for is very grandiose in terms of accessories, in terms of the stylizations that it was going for, but the execution just wasn't as good as it should have been. But anyway, check out the full written breakdown and gallery on kumasao.com. Link will be in the description. And thank you guys very much for watching. I know I took a break there, but last week I think I actually caught like the flu. Heavy into working out, missed the first couple of workouts that I did in years, just woke up to cold sweats and like body sore every day. So thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for your support in general, and hopefully you guys have been well. See you next review. Like, share, subscribe.